Hi there, welcome to another edition of TokStocks. I'm your host, Keir Reynolds, and today we're lucky enough to have Peter Hemstead, CEO of Fireweed Zinc. It trades on the TSX Venture Exchange with the ticker FWZ. How you doing today?
Pretty good. It's been a good week. I'm looking forward to moving on, heading to Geneva tonight to do a bit more marketing tomorrow.
Excellent. Well, we're at the SMI conference, day 2. We're probably all talked out, 20, 30 meetings in. What's any sort of goals that you're looking to accomplish while you've been here?
I think it's a good opportunity just to, always meet potential new investors. There's a lot of family wealth over here and private investors that you don't tend to get access to staying in North America. So SMI puts on a good conference and gives you access to or opportunity to meet some of these potential investors.
And maybe a bit about your background. How'd you get into the business? How'd you get to where you are today?
Yeah, time flies, right? I started my career as an accountant at Price Waterhouse. It was called Price Waterhouse at the time, so that probably dates me a bit. But did 10 years there and ended up through that, started in Toronto, moving to Vancouver. And then, at my time in Vancouver, started to realize how exciting the mining industry was, and was approached through a friend to join the team that built the Minto mine in the Yukon. And then that evolved into what people would know today as Capstone Mining or Capstone Copper. So I did 10 years there, helped grow that into what it is known as today through a number of mergers and acquisitions. Was there for Pinto Valley, Santo Domingo, and decided after 10 years to go try it all again. And that's when I joined Bluestone Resources as CFO, and was excited to try and repeat the success we had at Capstone. And unfortunately, that hasn't gone well due to some political and government challenges we're having in Guatemala. But happy to join that, and then evolve that into the Lundin group, and joined the Fireweed board a number of years ago, and now joining the management team this year. So it's been a ride, and been working with the Lundin group now since 2016, and enjoying that.
Maybe you could give us a little vantage point into that. What's it like working with the Lundin group?
It comes with a lot of benefits. Obviously there's the financial benefit of having that backing and access to capital, not only from the family, but from those institutional investors that tend to invest alongside them. But within the group, it's an incredible amount of technical resources and knowledge sharing. We're all in the same office in Vancouver, and it's a great culture for supporting these, especially these more junior companies.
And maybe give us an overview on Fireweed Zinc.
Yeah, so Fireweed Zinc was put together. Originally, it was the Tom and Jason deposit in the Yukon, and on the smaller side of zinc global deposits. And the team did an excellent job there consolidating the claims, and then with some exploration activities, we're fortunate to have the discovery of the boundary zone. And did quite a bit of drilling off on those deposits over the last few years. We recently published a mineral resource estimate that really more than doubled the size of the resource, and mainly by adding that boundary zone. So we're now, combined inferred and indicated over 100 million tons, around 7.5% zinc equivalent, and puts us right up there as one of the biggest, highest grade zinc deposits globally that's undeveloped and not held by a major. So it's a lot of success there, but we think there's a lot more as well. And that's, to quote Adam Lundin, it's the value here for Fireweed shareholders is with the drill bit.
Excellent. And why don't we cover cap structure? How many shares are out? What's the market cap?
Yeah, it's around 180 million shares outstanding right now, $230 million market cap. We have come off a bit recently over the last couple of weeks, but we do think we have some short-term catalysts here coming, and the strategy that we're deploying will lead to some catalysts next year as well. So we're quite excited about unlocking future value.
Why don't we cover some of those catalysts? What should investors be watching out for over the next 6 months?
Sure. So a couple things. So at McMillan Pass, the zinc project, as I mentioned, we came out with a resource estimate that did not include any of this season's drilling. We did 16,000 meters, focusing on those known deposits. We've already put out a few of those results, and they are demonstrating further upside to that resource update. And we even recently announced a new discovery as well. So right next to Boundary Zone, we now have the Popcorn discovery, and excited to see that addition. We have a couple more drill results that we're still waiting for assay results on that'll come out here in the next few weeks. So I'd say that's a short-term catalyst, just demonstrating further growth of what we already know is already a world-class asset.
Any other sort of M&A, any other new projects on the horizon? Is that part of the strategy, or are you really focused on developing what you have?
Yeah, we think we have a lot of internal value to unlock, so no M&A. With respect to Macpass, if you look at the land claims that we have, it's around 1,000 square kilometers, and the known deposits that make up our resource estimate are all towards the southeastern part of the claims. So one of the things we did this past summer was we did around $4 or $5 million of regional exploration up this prospective corridor. Gravity, VTEM, soil and rock sampling, everything. And the team's pretty busy reviewing that right now, and we plan on identifying some new targets to test next year. So this is blue sky above and beyond what we already know is a world-class asset for Macpass.
Are you guys fully funded for the next 12 months?
If we'll end the year this year with around 18 million. For us to do anything significant next summer, we'll probably need to hit the equity markets again, especially with these targets towards the western part of our land claims. There's no reason why we don't see a continuation of this pattern of the spacings that we have between Tom, Jason, and Boundary. But with the work we did this summer, we even identified a couple of gold anomalies, and you only have to look at who our neighbor is there with Snowline, and probably Canada's largest gold discovery in the last decade. It's we're in that same tombstone belt, so let's see what we have.
What's a typical day in the life of a CEO?
It's a good question. It's a lot of strategy, thinking about how we unlock value. And I think with Fireweed, that's probably our biggest challenge is, you look at our valuation today, and I think we're very much supported by the known resource as it stands today. But there's lots of blue sky opportunity to unlock here. And it's nice to have that valuation supported by what is already known as a world-class asset, while you look to try and swing for the fence a bit on unlocking some of this additional value. And one of the things we haven't talked about is this Tungsten project that we acquired a couple of years ago. This had gone into receivership by the prior owner, and we picked it up from the Northwest Territory government for dirt cheap, and not really knowing what we were getting into, but looking at it now, we now have the highest grade, largest tungsten deposit in the world, and learning more about the tungsten market. It's controlled by China. The US, there's no North American production as it stands today, and the strategic stockpiles in the US are being depleted due to the war in Ukraine. And we have the solution right here north of the border. So this is becoming more strategic. And I don't want to take away from the main driver and the flagship asset is McMillan Pass and the zinc. But this tungsten project could be quite strategic in bringing governmental support, both from the US and Canada, to potentially bring infrastructure and really unlock the district from a mining district perspective and bring that needed infrastructure. And we're getting pretty close on some of that stuff and it's the tungsten project that's attracting that.
Sure, it's a critical metal.
Yeah.
I noticed that the U.S. government has started to make some direct investment into critical metal projects such as that. So wish you lots of success with that. Any macro, any sort of thoughts in terms of the sort of resource sort of environment, maybe zinc, if you could educate us a little bit on that?
Yeah, I think it's similar to a lot of the base metals where you're always looking out into the future and seeing supply gradually coming off these mines with shorter mine lives. And there's always this forecasted supply deficit. And it's similar in copper, it's similar to zinc. And I think, the demand is always going to be increasing in these commodities, especially with the energy transformation that we're committed to. And I think by the time we're ready to go here in the Yukon, we'll be hitting a bull market.
Excellent. Well, I really appreciate your time to sit down with us and give us an overview on Fireweed. I wish you good continued success with the conference and some marketing that you're doing. And thanks for taking some time with us.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.